Good morning, my dear students. How are you all doing? I hope everybody is keeping safe at home and everybody is fit and fine. And students, I hope you guys are taking proper precautions, yes? And we know we've completed the chapter. We are done with the exercise, so let's jump into the next chapter. The chapter 4 on page number 24 is called Into the Future. Now, this chapter, students, is about time machine, how some friends gather and they want to go and travel the time. It's all about that. So let's find out. My friends gathered around the machine in my workshop. It was exactly like the model I had shown them, only 20 times larger. You mean you sit in that chair, pull that lever and travel into the future? Asked my friend, the writer. Or into the past, I said, whichever I choose. And what would you choose? Asked my friend, the psychologist. The future first, I said. It is unknown that interests me the most. But when do we get to see it in action? Can we take a ride in it ourselves? They asked. Not yet, I said. I still have a few things to tinker with. Then it be ready to go. Seeing my friend smile, I said, you may not believe me, but come to dinner here a week from now. And I promise I show you then that my time machine works. So there's a time machine and there are three friends, the author itself, the writer and a psychologist, and they're talking about how the machine which is there on the author's workshop, is it really a time machine? Does it travels the time? Will it take you forward, or will it take you in the future, or will it take you in the past? Everybody's so excited, but the author says not right now. Just come after a week over dinner and then you will see that my time machine actually works. Wow. So after my friends left, I called in my housekeeper and asked her to cook the best dinner she could make for my friends next week. I also handed her a note to give them when they arrived. The note said that I was sorry not to greet them, but I promised I would join them before the evening ended. Having given her these instructions, I set to work on the time machine. The work was very delicate, and I had to make sure that the size of the levers were just right to the smallest fraction of an inch. So now the author has told the house help that my friends will be coming over next week over dinner, so you'll have to prepare them the best meal that you ever can, and just tell them that he is not here for the time being. He cannot greet his friends right now because he will be working on his machine. So he is like little this thing that he won't be able to greet them, but he says he will join them when the evening ends. By the time they'll have their dinner done, just around that, the author will come and join the friends. Now, what is the problem? Why is author not there? Will not be there, in fact, because he will be working on his machine. He will be setting the levers, and he wants that everything has to be done very intricately, very delicately, and make sure that the levers were just right, even to the smallest fraction. He wants everything to be perfect. One lever was enough to start the machine traveling through the time. Pull the lever up and it would go in the past. Push it down and it would go in the future. The other lever was to stop it wherever I wanted, or rather whenever I wanted to, because I would be staying in the same spot, only the time would change. Now the thing is that he tells that how the machine works. He says when you pull the lever, it takes you to past. When you push it down, it takes you to future, and there is another lever which is there to stop the machine, because the author will be in the same position. It will be only time that will change. I had finished my work before 4 in the morning, so he is done with his work before 4 a.m. in the morning. Now only thing that was left to do to give the time machine its first test. So he is absolutely done. Like, he was done with the preparations, he is done with his preparations, and now it's time for the exam. It's time for action, where he has to test how his machine goes like. I sat down in the seat of time machine and looked at my watch. 19 minutes past 4. I held my breath, pushed the lever down a tiny bit. I felt as if I was falling through the endless space, my stomach trying to squeeze in my throat, my mouth gasping for air. Quickly, I pulled the stop lever. So now he decided to test the machine. So what he did, it was 4 past, it was what? It was 19 past 4. So that means it was 4:19 a.m. exactly. So he like took a deep breath and pulled the lever down, pushed the lever down, sorry, because he wanted to go in the future, right? So he felt that experience was, he was feeling he is going into a space, endless space, where his stomach is squeezed and is coming out of his mouth, and he wants air, he cannot breathe. And quickly he stopped the lever, and yeah. So I looked around and my heart sank. He take a look around and his heart sank. My coat still hung over a chair. My tools were where I had laid them. My workshop was just as I had left it. My machine was a failure. So now he looks around and he finds out that everything is the same. His coat is hung at the same place, his shoes are kept at the same place, his workshop is just the way he left it. So he thinks that his machine is a failure. Then I saw daylight coming through the windows and my heart started beating faster. Then he just noticed that there was sun rays coming in from the window. So he got excited. He thought, no, it's not a failure. So, and his heart started beating fast. The clock on the wall said 9:30. When he had started, it was 4:19 a.m. and now it is 9:30 a.m. My watch read 21 minutes after 4. I had traveled more than 5 hours in just 2 minutes. So what he's trying to say is that from 4:19 a.m. to now, the time on his clock is 4:21 a.m. but the time machine has taken him 5 hours ahead. 5 hours ahead of time, right? So it was 9:30, 9:30. The time machine worked. The time machine had actually worked for him. He was just trying to say that maybe he could have stopped and planned his next move, but he did not, because he could not just wait and he wanted to travel the time more. So he pushed the lever a little stronger, a little harder than he'd done before, and he saw that his housekeeper, his house help was cleaning the room, and then it was clear that he could not see, like she could not see the author. Then he kept pushing it over and over, and he kept traveling the time, and days, the wind rays was coming, and then there was dark. So it tells us that he was going into days and nights, shifting from day to night, the next day to next night, and so on, with the help of his machine. So that's about it for today. We shall continue the lecture tomorrow. Until then, revise the chapter. Be sure that you have everything sorted, everything is clear. If you have any doubts from the previous chapter or from this chapter, just let me know. I'll be there to help you. Okay? Take care, stay indoors, stay safe, and bye.